I'm Alex from Table Tennis 11, and as it was announced and promised some time ago, our guest is Mr. Roland Berg. Hello, Roland. Welcome to Estonia. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure to be here. Hello, all together.
Tell me, please, how should I introduce you? You are the owner and...
Yes, I'm owner and CEO of Tibhar company from Germany.
From Germany?
Yes.
Tibhar Table Tennis Company?
That's right.
Very good. So, I propose that we start with questions which were sent to our mailbox.
Yes, look forward to it.
Okay, so the first question, I apologize if I'm pronouncing not correctly, from C499. What does Roland normally eat for breakfast?
Very interesting question, because just I changed my style only a few weeks ago, and I used to eat for many years a good German bread, let's say, with sausage and cheese, but I changed now a bit more to French croissant with ham or honey.
May I ask you why? What
I think I want to change a little bit my style of giving nutrition to my body, and I want to eat a little bit less fat and so on. That's why I changed.
So more healthy food?
Yeah.
Healthy way of life?
Yeah, of course. I always have to try a little bit. Although I'm a big fan of German sausage and also French cheese, but honey and ham is also fine.
Okay, but you are not completely finished with German sausages, no? No. You left them for lunch or dinner?
Yeah, exactly.
That's good to hear. Plant Viet. Personally, he thinks that the handle of Tibhar blade is not really suitable for Asian players. In their country, everyone feels that the handle of double happiness, Tiger or butterfly rackets are more suitable.
Is he coming from China? You know it, or which country?
From his nickname, I can guess only that he maybe is from Vietnam.
I agree what he said, that we hear also from time to time that our European-made grips for the blades are not 100% suited to the Asian markets, but we have changed for Asian markets also our grip thickness and handles, and we have done grips especially for Chinese market, I know this, and of course the smaller markets, smaller countries, sometimes they get from these special productions, sometimes they buy the European blades, but principally I think we try to adapt to the Asian wishes, let's say, of the Asian players.
I see. Maybe I can add some 10 cents to your answer, because I am somehow also interested and I am in the same business, you know. This very successful blade, Samsonov Force Pro Black Edition, when you suggested Table Tennis 11 to have this custom-made blade, we took it as a base and we changed the shape of the blade and the handle shape. Also, our idea that it might be interesting for Asian market. So the shape is a bit different. It's like slightly the same like DHS Tigo butterfly type of blades. So this might be also.
Yeah, I fully agree with this. I think it's necessary to adapt to the different markets, let's say like this, and to listen. And we have different blade factories. One is our own blade factory that is situated in Slovenia in Europe, and we are quite flexible in adapting such things to the wishes of our customers.
The next question also related to the Asian market. Chewy asks, do you intend to offer penhold players more option in the future, such as having blades like VS or CCA unlimited in penhold grip?
So principally, it's possible to have all our existing blades as a penhold blade, penholder blade. It's just a question that one of our customers has to ask us. So some of these blades are existing as penholder blades, are in our stocks. Maybe not a lot of customers all over the world are having them in their range, but principally it's possible to have each existing blade as a penholder blade. Of course, the end consumer has maybe to go to his dealer or his shop, and maybe then the agent of the country has to be involved. But principally, there is no need to have more intention, because principally it's existing already.
So this VS and CCA Unlimited, you have in Penhold also.
I'm quite sure if we have now not stock, at least we have produced it already, and it should be possible without problems.
Okay, so with the next order, it means 2 or 3 weeks later it should be available at our store. And thank you for asking.
Making some turnover.
Yes. Ray, could you please tell us more about recently started cooperation with Sun A? And the second question from him or from her, are you still producing some of your blades in Slovenia?
Yeah, this is what I answered already before. We still have our exclusive blade factory in Slovenia that is producing many models from us. I would say over 50% of our models that we have in the catalog is produced there, and I'm also quite proud that these blades are quite unique, let's say like this, and have very good reputation, at least also in European market over decades, I would say. And yes, our collaboration with a Sanai company from Japan, I think it's for us also interesting and big and new matter. I think these two companies match very well together. Sanai is, I think, one of the most important table producers in the world, sponsoring the last Olympic Games in Rio and also the next Olympic Games in Tokyo. And we are a company that is also looking a lot for quality, but haven't that much developed the table business, let's say, in the past decades, whereas Sanai is only focused on table business. And so it matched somehow very well together, and we have different fields of our collaboration. One is that we develop common tables to sponsor the big international tournaments, and under the common Sanai Tibhar brand we have been sponsor of the World Team Cup in London this year, and will be sponsor of the World Team Cup in Tokyo next year, which will be the preparation event for the Olympic Games in Tokyo. So we have there the big intention to deliver very nice show court tables for the international events. On the other hand, we will develop a common table range under the Sanai Tibhar brand, from high-class tables made in Japan up to ITTF approved models, and also hobby tables, outdoor tables to be sold under this common brand all over the world. And this is what we have started now. We are still at the beginning, but we have 5-6 models that are ready now, and I think the range will enlarge. And additionally, Sanai, as a very strong partner in the Japanese market, started also to sell our rubbers and blades in the Japanese market. So I think it's a very complex and very good collaboration for both companies that I strongly believe will have quite a lot of success in the future.
And Magic M, I think the Tibhar market share is completely different between blades and rubbers. So what's the reason that only a few players, I'm sorry that it sounds too negative, are playing with Tibhar blades, although a lot of people play with Tibhar rubbers, especially Evolution series. And what are you planning to change in this situation on the blade market?
I think your users they have really good information about the markets, and they ask good questions. Of course, this is somehow a fact, and it's true. I think we have much more image, let's say like this, for rubbers. Although we have our exclusive blade production, there also all the knowledge needed. But I think somehow from the history we started much earlier, let's say, to do a lot of different types of rubbers, and I think we spend also much more effort in promoting rubbers than in blades from the history, whereas some other companies they are much more focused on blades and are then weaker in rubbers. Without that, I want to mention now names of these companies, but it is a fact. Of course, also I think the total number of rubbers sold in the world is bigger than the total number of blades. So maybe it makes also more sense to focus on rubbers which are used, which have to be replaced more often than blades. But on the other hand, we want to do good products in all kind of table tennis equipment. We want to make good rubbers, good blades, good balls, good tables. And then of course we have to, in future even take more care of our blades, of developing blades, being maybe more individual blades for different countries. We have started a partnership with a very big fiber producer to make some new fiber blades, and we are taking this very serious, and we want to improve in blades more and more in the future. And of course we want to improve also in rubbers. That doesn't mean now that we want to keep our rubber sales the same and increase the blade sales. No, we want to increase both and develop, of course, both kind of products.
But why is the situation now that your blades are not so popular? Or you want to improve the quality and different
I think we have to improve everything. I mean, also it's sometimes it depends also on the country. I think if I take our blades in the French market, I think there are some blades that in the Asian market nobody knows, like 4L or 4S or Sheila Off, which is maybe the best-selling blade in the French market. So it's of course always a question also from country to country, and I think especially in the Asian market, our image for rubbers is much better than for blades. But there we are basically speaking about the image, let's say like this. I think I would even not speak about the quality. It's just that less people know our blades than people know our rubbers, and I think there we have maybe also to make a clear concept and maybe explain to people a bit more which blades are for which playing style and so on. So I think it's not only a question of improving the quality of the blades. I think it's more a question of improving the marketing and telling people what we have already, and bring people to test our blades, and then I'm quite convinced that we will have more sales in blades then.
So in other words, you are quite sure with the quality of your products?
Sorry. We are quite sure that we have very good blades, yes, but of course we have very good rubbers, as you said, evolution rubbers, but it doesn't mean for me that this is the end. I mean, we always have to improve. I mean, we always have to try to do better equipment, but I'm quite convinced that we have already very good quality in blades, but I think we have to do the marketing better.
Maybe tradition is not that, as you have told, that it's not well known, so it's...
Yeah. I think the
quality is quite decent.
Yes, I'm convinced.
McCollins, when designing a new blade, do you design it with specific rubber in mind?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Principally, no, let's say like this, because I think we look first really then for the blade itself, and say a blade should match then with different kind of offensive rubbers or not. But of course, sometimes we have a certain combination in mind, let's say like this, especially also if we develop a blade for a certain player, let's say like this. So then, for example, if we take the Chen An blade over on, it was clear that it should match the same combination with the evolution rubbers Chen An is playing, let's say like this. So sometimes yes, sometimes no, but generally if we make a new blade, it's just first of all we think about the blade and not that it should suit only with a certain rubber.
But can you give us the idea of what successful or good combination of your blade and your rubber could be?
I think it's also difficult to say. It depends a lot on your playing style, let's say. So once again, I come back to the different markets. If I tell you now rubber combination, maybe some of your customers or users will laugh, because I think one of the best sold combinations in the French market is a Tibhar 4L blade with a Varispin rubber. A Varispin rubber, maybe most of the Asian customers, they don't know it all. It's an all-round rubber. But this is a racket then that has a lot of control and so on. So, whereas of course in the Asian market we go much more for Evolution MXP with a VS Unlimited or Samsonov Force Pro Black Edition or Chen An Unlimited blades. So it depends really a lot on of the playing style, and that's why we try to offer very huge variety of rubbers and blades, and some people know only a few rubbers from us, but I think we have over 50 or 60 rubbers in the ITTF approved rubber list, and I think with some special blades we make for special countries or customers, we have over 100 blades, so there are so many combinations possible, and I cannot say this is the best combination, or this is always the best combination for a certain playing style.
The next question from VSDG, you have already touched a little bit in your previous answer. So, why are certain Tibhar products only available in certain regions of the world, considering that many of them are popular globally? For example, Kim Jong-un, the K1 hybrid rubbers, etc.
Yeah, I think the Kim Jong-un blade was an idea of our Korean customer to sell in the Korean market, and we developed it for him, and Kim Jong-un was playing it, and he was very satisfied with it. And the hybrid rubber was more an idea from us to attack the Chinese forehand rubber market. So we tried to develop a sticky German rubber with a European sponge, and to really deliver a product to the Chinese market that was not existing. And it is very successful in Chinese market, and this is how we start sometimes. We have to listen to the different markets, what they need, what they want. But for sure, I can tell already that there will be a hybrid K1 version for all customers all over the world, available latest, let's say, in November this year. So everybody can play such a rubber in the future too, and everybody can order such a rubber. But it will always be the case that we try to satisfy individual demands from individual agents or customer from individual countries that come to us with a certain idea of a product. They are convinced that it will very well sell in their market, and then we try to satisfy them.
ATP for my breakfast. This is the name of the person. As an industry and a sport, how big is table tennis, and is it growing or declining?
I think table tennis is very small. No, it's difficult to say. I think the leisure market is very big. We are mainly in the competition market. A competition market for me means the products, rubber and blade, that are sold individually, or ITTF approved tables, or I think this market is very small, very special. This hobby market with cheap leisure beds, outdoor tables, cheap balls, I think is very huge. I mean, at least if I know from my home country Germany, if you asked anybody, have you ever played table tennis or ping pong? Everybody says yes. Everybody played in his life already table tennis. I think not everybody played in his life basketball or volleyball or whatever, but everybody played table tennis. But we speak there mainly about ping pong, and this is for me, how to say, somehow it's one sport, but also two different kind of sports. I mean, my brand, we are working in this competition field of table tennis, and this is a quite small and limited market, I think, and we have to fight a lot with all the federations, organizations, schools and so on to keep this sport playing, let's say like this, in schools or whatever, and to try to have as many licensed members that are playing competitions as possible. But on the other hand, in countries like China, it's absolutely a huge sport, also competition wise, and in Japan, as far as I know, they have more and more players also competition wise. So I think it's somehow a small sport. Maybe this is also the reason why the huge brands like Nike, Puma, Adidas, they did not yet enter this market, or when they tried, they were also not successful from time to time. It's a very special market, but I think it's somehow difficult to say if it will grow or not. Everything is possible. I think on the other hand, we also have to develop maybe the fact that we should sell our equipment to these hobby players also. I think it should be a big goal of us to why not to play at home in your living room with a evolution rubber instead of a complete bat that you bought for €9 in the supermarket or whatever. I think there are chances to enlarge the market still, but it's hard.
But is it growing now? Is it stable according with your
imagination? It's difficult to say. I think it's from brand to brand. It's different. If you ask the federations, they say that they have that the number of players or licensed players is decreasing. Beside Japan, from there you hear that they have more players. So I think I cannot say that the market is growing. On the other hand, I think buying power is growing in many countries. We make products that have more technology, that are also more expensive than so it's difficult to say. But I can say generally I think the number of the competition players is for sure not growing over the world.
You have almost already answered these questions, but still I want to ask this Yo-Yo Bros 94, which makes more money? Pre-made rackets for casual players or parts like blades and rubbers for much more hardcore players? So for you it's professional or competition equipment.
Yeah, I mean.
But generally on the market, what do you think?
I think from the turnover numbers or whatever, I think this complete bets, how I call them, the volume is much bigger.
In numbers or in money also?
I think even both. But of course, there you have rackets that cost in China, I think $2 or whatever, and then they sell millions. Yeah,
including balls,
including balls, even
and
or whatever, and then they sell millions or 10 millions of such sets. So I think this market is really huge. And but on the other hand, of course, like in all this is like in everything that you sell in supermarkets and the huge quantities, also the profit is quite limited, let's say like this. Whereas of course in these more expensive, more technology products, there's a higher profit inside. There's of course an investment in technology, but I think this market is smaller generally than this hobby market. Yes.
CMOS. Why approximately all brands make their rubbers at TSM? Is it because having your own manufacturing facility too expensive, not economically viable, or for a brand? How new rubbers are developed in this case? And the second question, how big are you? What is your table tennis equipment market share?
Now we are going to quite sensitive matters that I don't want to comment or go in details. Turnover or market share is always a secret. We never speak about, and also we never speak about any name of a supplier. So if there was one mentioned, I also don't want to comment this. I can say from our side we are working with different manufacturers for different products. Most of the time we go there and with our ideas, and we try to develop with them exclusive products for our brand. That's the way we do it normally.
Maybe another sensitive question, I don't know. Gizmo 20. Which of your competitors do you think makes the best equipment? Or if I may rephrase, who is your main competitor in terms of quality?
This is also, I think it would now not be fair to give there any comment to my competitors. What is good in table tennis world is that everybody which is a player in the market is having quite a lot of respect to his competitor, and I think this is a good thing, and I think it should be like this. So that's why it would be just simply unfair to say now which are our biggest competitors because of the quality, because it would really be some kind of discrimination to others which maybe have also good quality but are anyhow for other reasons not so huge in the market as others. So I think we have good competitors, and we try to be always one of the leaders regarding technology. And I think I would like to leave it like this.
Yeah, but it's a very good explanation from my point of view. It's quite
In fair and clear.
Yeah. And it is the truth. I mean, this market is small, and there is a kind of respect towards each other, and this is for me also important.
One more question relating to other brands. Gimpy Threat. I have a Tibhar MXP on the racket and like it, but I haven't noticed a huge difference over the Yasaka, Razanter, Donic. I like them all. What sets your product apart from the rest?
As I said before, Evolution is for sure different than the other named products there. And of course, at the end, it's also sometimes depending on yourself, on your skill, on your strokes, exactly also in which stroke you feel then really a certain difference, let's say like this. So I give very often to people that are not coming from table tennis the example that the table tennis rubber is, as the name is saying, a rubber product, and a tire in the Formula One is also a rubber product, and sometimes only if you have a certain skill or whatever you feel really the differences, let's say like this. So it might be also that maybe in a return these rubbers are similar, whereas if you do this flip or if you do a topspin or if you do a topspin or whatever, you feel the difference. Once again, I don't want now to say this Evolution rubber is better than this because of this or this or this. This is once again not my style also, but I can tell that the rubber is different for sure. Even to some others quite different, let's say like this, yeah.
I need to spell the name. IPAWDS. IPA. How did you get into this industry?
By birth.
By birth.
So no, I mean.
But we can.
Yeah, no. My father was a former player also, and he used to work. He used to work in Tibhar company since 1978. Let's say like this. So when I was a child already, I grew up by being somehow involved in this business, and this was for me never a question that I would like to take over this business from my father, and I would like to. I was a former player too, and for me it was principally always clear that I want to do this what I'm doing now.
What is your GK junk? What is your personal blade rubber setup?
I have to say honestly, due to some neck problems that I don't play that regularly anymore, and but when I'm playing, when I take my racket, I have a Samsung carbon with two sides MXP Evolution.
Samsung carbon is triple carbon, or it's another type of blade?
No, Samsung carbon is the name of the blade. Yeah.
So this is the.
It's 2 layers of carbon.
2 layers of carbon. So it's could be the answer of the good combination for.
Might be a good combination. I think for some Asian players we have faster carbon blades than the Samsung carbon, and this might be more interesting also to have even some faster combinations, yeah, like the VS Unlimited or Shenzhen Unlimited.
Ikmal Isa. Why Tibhar only sponsoring European players?
I just mentioned
Shenzhen. I know that this is not true.
So it's not true. On the other hand, of course, we are European company. We have more close relationships to European players, but we are also looking for Asian players. But how to say, sometimes politically even started. Sometimes from history-wise, it's not so easy to make contact with some players from some country. But we don't close our eyes to Asian players. No. We look for it. We have a Chen Chen-an, we have a Shang Kun, Chinese national team member, a recent national team member. So we're also looking for Asian players.
Table tennis X32. What do you take in considering when sponsoring players?
Yeah, It depends on what kind of sponsor we are talking about. I mean, we start to sponsor very young talents of 8, 9, 10 years old in many European countries, where we, as we did it with some of our players like Samson of Libesson or whatever, Bernie Search also, that we contracted when they were small kids, some other players. We look also, let's say, to the market. It's for us important to have players like Cedric Nitting, who is the Belgium champion, best player in his country. So it's always a mix between, let's say, the talent and also the perspectives you have for the international. But it's also can also be a national champion in a country with a certain size who is interesting.
Patrick Hlichka, our good friend, is asking, will you ever offer a harder sponge version of MXP, like 550 degrees?
I think very few players would play it, and I think sometimes the market limit it's by himself would be, I think, for really high class players, and we always try to offer products that are for quite a huge number of players suited. And if the sponge is getting too hard, it's really hard to play for non-world class players. So most probably I would say no.
At the 4, were there any special requests from Samsonov or anyone else to get some modification on a blade or rubber?
I mean, we always try to develop, especially with Vladi, blades and rubbers, and still today sometimes Vladi is saying, try to change my blade like this, try to make this layer a bit thicker, try to make this layer a bit thinner, and then sometimes he's playing, developing, testing, and in the end the result is then a new product. And so most of our rubbers in the past were developed like this. I think over the last decades, Vladi was playing Genius, Nimbus VIP, and then Evolution. He was also helping and developing with us a lot, the hybrid K1 rubber. So of course, these players are always looking for improvement, the same like we are also doing. Yes.
Fabian 1819. Do the professionals play the same equipment as everyone else?
I say principally yes, with a special selection, so that really each product is exactly the same. Means, for example, from the sponge hardness or whatever. But principally yes.
Principally it's the same, like...
Principally yes.
So the other question from Cole VTT. When a normal player would be able to buy some quality equipment that you give to a sponsor player? And he's apologized for political incorrect question.
As I said, this specially selected rubbers, let's say, with a certain sponge hardness or whatever, they are given to the players, and let's say like this, they are not going to the market. But on the other hand, we have players that are playing exactly these sponge hardness that we are also selling.
Okay, then next two questions are coming from two different persons, but I somehow want to combine them because they are, from one side, they are asking the same topic, okay, but the questions are opposite somehow. Yogi Beer, please answer why, in your opinion, that despite the new rubbers like Aurus Prime and Select, many players still prefer MXP.
Yeah, this is how to say, it's a different kind of rubber. Aurus Prime, Aurus Select is a different kind of rubber, and I think these top players, they are used now to this evolution with quite a lot of arc and so on, and they just prefer to stay with this instead of playing this latest generation of rubbers.
Evil Octopus is asking, will you update the Evolution series, and do you think that the new Max Plus sponges actually work, as he doesn't know any professional player who swept to rubbers that style?
For sure, we will update the evolution series quite soon. Let's say that is, we are working on this, and this.
But not with 50-degree sponge.
Maybe also, let's say like this. Cannot say everything already, or cannot predict everything already now. I think we for sure there will be let's say sometimes also versions for the Asian market that go over 50 degrees, depending on the kind of rubber, let's say like this. But we are working on updates for evolution rubbers. And there will be some updates for sure. I think the thicker sponge is combined with the change of the top sheet, with a quite serious change of the top sheet. That's why it would not be an evolution rubber anymore. Let's say like this. But for sure there will be in the near future some new versions of evolution. We are working on them. But they must be how to say, at least as good, or at least as good is not enough. They must be better than existing evolutions, which is not so easy. But we will succeed.
Soul. How do you think the use of booster affects table tennis? Should they just make it legal?
No, as far as I know, booster is not legal, and so it should also not become legal. I think we have rules everybody has to follow.
The question is about the rules. Should they make it legal? According with your.
I think the rule. I think the rule that we have is good.
Even it's very hard to control whether the booster were used or not.
I think the rule that we have is good, and we have to work on the control. Yes, that's my personal opinion.
So to make it detectable with.
Yeah. Let's say, and also to stop this kind of discussion. Does someone has boosted? Yes or no? I think the rule is good, and we have to develop the measurements better to that everybody is convinced that when a measurement is done, everything is okay and no discussion anymore.
Light Z. Do you have technical interest in or influence over the design and engineering of the final products, rubbers, and etc., or you do your higher management duties and it takes all your time?
No, we have. I mean, of course, design is a very important aspect of each product. If it's the product design itself, means the mood, for example, of a rubber, or also color combination of a sponge or whatever, the packaging and so on, the same for the blade.
Sorry to disturb, this is, I mean, personal questions for you. Are you involved in this?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and of course also then the handle design and so on, the colors, the lens and so on. Myself and Christoph, one of my staff, we are there very much involved together with our design team. We have 2 designers working for my company, and this is everything in-house. So all these products somehow, I have a look and I have seen them before they come to the market. Yes, and I'm quite often also quite a lot involved. Yes,
in design and in technical things also.
Both, yes, both.
And
but
management,
also in design.
and management, of course, too.
Yeah.
And now I propose we have a very short break.